This? No. That'd be cool, though. It's for milking.
That's a cow?
Did you just ask me if this was a cow?
What are you doing now?
Are you going to be joining me or not?
You can sit here. Do I have to be in the presence?
With each hand.
Well, no, I'm asking you because let's start.
There you go. Knees from top to
Hey, Ed.
bottom. Really pull. Use some muscle. Draw it back out. All right.
I told them they could come in without it.
Well, is the outer hot? Is it all floppy?
I don't know where you're at.
Okay, you suck at this. Give me those teeth. Did your father teach you anything?
I never met him. Good morning, Aaron.
Hey.
You guys are muted right now, but you can unmute yourselves, I think. So.
Hey everybody. I decided to eat my cupcake. I thought about it last night. I talked to Jim,
Hey.
I talked to my sister, and I think that
How's it going
as
there,
long as Todd Packer doesn't
DJ
know,
Smitty P?
Yeah, everyone loves that name.
Cute kitty.
No.
What's that?
It's a cute kitty.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, this is my sister's. She's just a snuggle bug and loves to be in my room.
Nice. I don't even know where my cat is. I'll tell you what.
I have no idea what I'm doing. Is this working? You can hear me? Okay.
My night.
Hi, Michael. Hey, listen, guys. There's a chat feature on the right. Well, down at the bottom, you can go on the chat. So if anybody has any questions to ask, they can just write it down there.
I did not see you either.
There's also a way to raise your hand.
Wow, he is officially the worst human being.
How's it going, everybody?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Good.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm, staying sane. I grew out my quarantine beard, as you guys can see.
We're all going to need haircuts pretty soon.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed I learned how to do this in like 2 days. I'm like, okay, I'll figure out Zoom. It can't be that hard.
Yeah, no, it's not bad at all.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah, I've been using it a lot actually. Did everyone get the email that has the copy of the agenda in it?
I did, yeah.
Okay, perfect. What I might end up doing if anyone doesn't have it is I might just send like a link to the email or something like that.
Dave, I could put it on the in the chat.
That would be good too. Yeah, that would be great actually.
Let's do that. I have to get it first.
Okay. All right, I will be right back.
Let me try putting just a little bit of it. I can't copy the whole thing over. Let's see if I can do that part. Copy that. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Sergio, I think are there people in a waiting room right now?
Oh yeah, couple. I got them.
Perfect. There we go. Hey.
Actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll bring them in as they show up. So
Perfect.
But it says my video is stopped. What do I gotta do?
hold on.
Okay, there. Good job.
It's working.
Hooray.
All right. Let me get the agenda up here.
Yeah, we're on a Zoom call. It's Cinco de Mayo, honey. I think me and Dave are the only ones on it, and Sergio right now.
Okay. No, there's a lot of people on here.
Oh, well then.
How's everybody holding up? Doing well?
How's that?
Getting a little
Ed
cabin.
Phillips. Hi, Ed.
Hey, Kathy, how are you? We're getting a little cabin fever, but we're doing okay.
Hi, Ed.
How are you, Ginny?
I'm just ducky. How about you?
I've been better.
Have you? I'm sorry to
Hi,
hear that.
Preston.
Hi, Kathy.
Where's
You guys
Eileen?
in a long
Say
time.
hi to people before you leave.
Eileen's grabbing a chair.
Oh,
Hi,
good.
Mike.
Clarice has to go to work, but she wanted to say hi to everyone.
Hi,
Hey,
Clarice.
Clarice.
Be safe, please. Please be safe.
Yeah, they have nurses rotating in and out of the COVID ward, just to try to spread out the
Danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also,
Sandy's on. Look, so Sandy's on mute. Does she have to unmute herself?
Yeah, there's a little button that I found that says unmute.
yeah, so it's at the bottom.
On me, it was on right on my picture on the left.
Yeah, it looks like a microphone. You can hit that. If you want to stop your video or anything, you can hit the little camera icon there.
I'm unmuted.
Yeah, there you are.
There you go.
There we go.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
It's John.
Hey.
Hi, John. Hi.
This is
Hi.
wild.
I know.
Yeah, these are the most people I've seen in 2 months.
You and me both.
Hey guys, it's Patty.
Hey, Patty.
Patty.
Hey, I'm here for Kevin and Terry.
Okay, that's very good.
Perfect.
Terrific.
I was on a Zoom call with 183 people last night.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
That was the organizing core call. 183 people. Was fun.
Wow.
Hey, Sergio, is everybody supposed to be unmuted and then you bring them in and out, or is everybody supposed to just mute and unmute themselves?
Sergio can't respond because he is muted too.
He's on mute.
I forgot to unmute myself. We can do it a couple ways. I could mute everybody and allow them to unmute themselves, or I could make them so they can't unmute themselves. But we should probably let everybody unmute themselves if they want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a mute point.
That's a good one, Jenny.
That was a good one.
Well,
I just wanted to say hi, but I'm going to be off camera because I'm making dinner.
Sounds good.
And I'll mute if the dogs start barking. I did actually hope no one minds, but I did actually forward the link to a friend who I've been telling about joining LV4A.
That's
So
perfect.
hopefully she'll call in too. Her name is
Great.
Jenny Volkoff.
Okay.
Patty, I just honestly look like
Dale's
absolute
calling.
heck, so
Hi, Dale.
my video is muted, but
You don't have an email.
I'm
yet.
here.
You don't have
Don't
a.
worry.
You don't. You mean somebody didn't send you the email? Well, did you get the email for Lehigh Valley for All? You didn't get it. Okay, I'll send it to you right now.
talk to her.
Okay, Dale.
Yeah.
It'll be there in a minute. All right. Bye.
So I think just
No,
because
I actually didn't get my email either. Kevin actually sent me over his.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of us didn't get the email.
yeah, Jenny didn't get the email either. I don't think.
Well, Kathy knows I got mine.
You got yours?
Good.
Yep.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I think just because, it's a new thing, people might be downloading Zoom right now. We're going to give it another, 3 mintes or so.
Sergio,
and
I
then-
have to say we should probably check and see how many people, like we should ask everybody to just send us back something that they're getting our emails, because there were a lot of people that didn't get these emails. Jenny didn't get it.
Mine
Hey.
came through.
I got both.
You got both.
Yeah, they're all coming
the
on.
agenda and the Zoom, yeah.
If people want to check their time, it came through at 12:51 p.m. today.
That was one of them. Oh, that's nice.
Didn't get
Yeah,
it.
no, I didn't.
Hello.
A suggestion. When the speakers are speaking, maybe everyone, the speaker should be muted.
What?
Yeah,
When
that's
my
probably- that's
temple
probably what we would do.
has
is we would ask-
services,
yeah,
There, I muted everybody, so you're good. Dave, you can unmute yourself and go ahead and speak. What's that?
Perfect. Yeah, sorry about that. So I think once we get started, we might just have everybody on mute. There's a chat on the side. If you just want to put like question or something like, does everyone have access to the chat on the side here? Okay. Sergio, what we might do then is just maybe ask everybody to mute, and then they can unmute real quick or something like that. We want to try to avoid a situation where somebody who wants to say something isn't able to.
So we can unmute ourselves if we want to?
I think that's the idea.
Okay.
Yeah. But just
That's good then.
keep it muted if you're not talking, and then if you have a question or anything, you can put it in the chat, and then maybe Sergio can unmute you if you don't know how or something like that. Just want to make sure everyone has the ability to talk and everything. All right. Is Ben reporting to us from the Starship Enterprise right now?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm in command of the situation.
The various backgrounds. Very cool.
That's very cool, Benjamin.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess we could get started. As people come in, maybe Sergio, if you need to mute somebody who's giving feedback or something like that. Not feedback as in constructive feedback, but feedback as in like, static or something like that, then that might be what we do. And then if anybody has any questions or anything, you can put it in the chat, or there's normally a raise your hand function, or you can also just kind of do that, and maybe Sergio can catch it to see if you have a question. All right, so first of all, welcome everyone to this kind of strange digital Lehigh Valley for All meeting. I know it's been interesting times all over. I hope everyone is hanging in there. I hope you all are staying connected with friends and family, and making sure you're drinking enough cleaning product to get that out of all the corona out of your system. I just got done huffing UV radiation, so I should be fine. But don't do that. Again, thanks everybody. I know it's a little weird, having this broadcast directly into your house. It's not all that we're used to. But
Yes, it is very weird.
Live, yeah. So to get started, I want to welcome everybody. Is there anybody here that this is their first time on a Lehigh Valley for All meeting? Regardless, if you just want to wave. I see there's a Megan Best down there.
Megan.
Hey, Kathy.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Megan. Welcome. And I see a Karen down there too.
Yeah, I'm here. Sandra, Sandy.
Good. And perfect. Let's see. If you guys want to just say, if this is your first time, just say your name in the chat and maybe where you're from. Up to you. We always like to acknowledge when new people are here. It's a little more difficult when we're all on many screens, but I want to thank you guys all for joining. It's normally an in-person thing. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Okay. So then, is there anybody here that is an elected official or a candidate running for office?
Me. I am.
Who's me?
Dale. Yeah.
And Dale, what's your position?
I'm a Bethlehem Township Commissioner.
Perfect. And I see Cheryl, you're here as well?
Yes, Allentown School District Board of Directors.
Perfect. Welcome, Cheryl. Let's see, any other? John?
John Gallagher from Bethlehem Township.
Awesome. Am I missing anybody?
No, I'm just here for Terry and Kevin.
Perfect. Terry Houck, the District Attorney of Northampton County, and Kevin Bronco, who is running in the 131st State Rep. We're trying to flip the House, so that's great. And I'm Dave Harrington. As it says underneath there, I'm a Lehigh County Commissioner. This is the same Zoom that I use for those meetings. But anyway, so again, thanks everybody for being here. This is new for me as it is for you. So I'm trying to figure out how to conduct the meeting in a way that's engaging, but within the parameters that we have here. So I guess we can get started with an executive committee report. We, as the executive, haven't been able to do too much. We had a lot of things planned. We had a lot of GOTVs planned. We had a fundraiser that was supposed to be going through. And then, unfortunately, that's not going to be able to happen. Most in-person things have been canceled. So we've mostly been in a holding pattern trying to work around it, with the volunteer coordination committee leading the charge as far as getting phone calls made and postcards sent out. We're going to talk more about that later. Now, if anyone has any questions or anything, just pop it up in the chat, as I said before, or wave your hand enough and we can acknowledge it. But we're going to move on to our treasurer report. So, Jim?
Okay, everybody can hear me, I assume. Our embassy bank account total is $5,424.95, and our PayPal account is $946.77, for a total balance of $6,371.72. One of the things I wanted to update everybody about was our not-for-profit status. After many, many hours of discussions with the IRS and with our accountant, we decided to withdraw our application for not-for-profit status. There were numerous questions about whether or not we met the criteria to begin with. And secondly, questions arose whether we would be able to continue to meet them if in fact we did meet them right now. We've sort of turned the corner or past the 50% threshold maybe on from social welfare organization to political organization, I guess is the best way to say it. We've become more political and less social welfare in the eyes of the IRS. So anyway, from the cost-benefit analysis, it just made more sense for us to drop the not-for-profit application. We're going to continue to stay in LLC. And that's pretty much it for that piece of it. It wasn't an easy process. It took about 6 months or so to finally get to that place. The other thing is we've changed our registered agent. As an LLC, we're supposed to have a registered agent. LegalZoom was our registered agent. We switched that to my home address, and that's going to save us $300 a year that we don't have to pay LegalZoom. And really all it does is any kind of information would get sent to my house instead of to the LegalZoom office, who then forwards it to me. Let's see, as of today, we have 84 paid members, and I know of one other person that just sent me a check, so 85 paid members. And reminder, you could pay, if you have not paid your membership dues, they run January 1st through December 31st. It's $15 a year. The $15 as will allow you to be a member of the group, and that allows you to vote in any of our elections for officers, for endorsements for candidates, so on and so forth. You can, if you are not a member and you'd like to pay the $15, you can go on our website, which is LV4ALL.org. There's a donate button there. And if you pay online, just please make sure that you indicate it's for your membership dues. We also have a PayPal account. It's LehighValley4all@gmail.com. That's all small letters. LehighValley4all spelled out at gmail.com. And if anybody is interested in paying by check, I can send you my home address if you want to let me know. So. And I think that's it for the treasurer's report today. Are there any questions?
I think we had a question about how do we know if we're up to date with our membership? Should they email you to inquire, or?
Yeah, as we continue, my email address is james.dunstan, DUNSTAN 23@gmail.com. So it's my first name dot last name 23@gmail.com. And then I can get back to you and let you know if you're paid for 2020.
Yeah, and that email address is in the chat. I hope that's okay, Jim.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Sure, you and I kind of put it in there at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much. Now I know Luke is here. If Luke, do you have anything you'd like to report from the position of vice president?
Yeah, just briefly, I had a a really good call with folks from Swing Left yesterday. And for those of you who don't know, Swing Left is a progressive organization working to promote Democrats and progressive candidates across the country, but they're really targeting areas where swing districts and areas where there are currently occupied Republicans in those districts, and particularly this presidential race, red states that have a chance to go blue. So we're right in their target, their target zone there, with being an area that's going to be highly competitive and contested for the presidency, but we also have a lot of red seats in both state legislature and federal that they're going to be looking at. So they have a lot of really good resources, and their primary resource is people. They have a lot of volunteers. Most of them are in the Boston area that are willing to phone bank, so we can work with them. We have some follow-ups to do with them to kind of set up those, but we can count on them to do a heavy phone banking for us in the fall. And in the fall, if things look better as far as our ability to get out there and knock on doors, and COVID is not a problem, they will likely send some people down our way. And we can work out the logistics of that also. But we talked for a while about brainstorming on just ideas to do outreach, particularly during this kind of COVID, everybody stay at home period. And they had some really good ideas. So there'll be more to come out of that to follow up. So I'll be circulating some things through the executive committee and then kind of back out. But good organization with lots of resources. And I think they're going to be a good partner for us going forward.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Luke. Yeah, no, those folks up there are great. I know they helped out a lot in the 2019 races as well. So we're glad to have them. Appreciate that. Okay, moving into committee reports. We have the communications committee, without which we would not be speaking right now. So go ahead, Sergio, take it away.
Hi, everybody. Real quick, a couple of, not this past email, but the email before, Kathy had put out, well, in the email, we put out that you could contact me if you wanted to get some phone numbers to call in the area for local Democrats off of Vote Builder. And I've been doing that, but I've only had 3 people actually ask me for those. And Pat, by the way, I want to thank you. Pat Russo was one of the ones who stepped up and asked for some stuff, and she got them, I believe, all of them done.
Thanks, Sergio. But I got a lot to go, but I'm still plugging away. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Kathy Fox also asked me, and so did Deb Stevenson. So if anybody else is interested, if you don't have access to numbers and you want to call people to, the script basically is just reminding them about voting for mail, voting by mail-in voting, and that's pretty much it. So let me know, and I can get you some turf, some people to call. I can send that out to you. What, Kathy? No, you have to unmute yourself, dear.
Wait. No, wait. Unmute.
Let me unmute her. All right,
Yeah,
go ahead,
thank
Kathy.
you. I was going to say they don't have to make phone calls if they feel uncomfortable with that. We have postcards that are from Lehigh Valley for All that have our phone number on it that you can mail a postcard if you'd rather do that. We also have a text message that you can send out if you don't want to make the phone calls to, and it includes the votespa.com link right in it. So just because you might be uncomfortable making phone calls, but you can still contact all the voters in your area. So that's it.
We did have a question.
You just said that in your thing.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Probably will be better off with in her report for volunteer coordination anyway. But just so we're ready for it, Patty Bruno asked, what targeting are we using? So I think that would be like the voter universe. But we'll get to that in the volunteer coordination committee portion. Anything else, Sergio?
Not really. No, that's it. Pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions for Sergio on the communication side? Okay, perfect. So then moving on to community outreach committee. Outreach 6 feet apart though, not too close, but is Gail or Kim here? Okay. I think that they had just been working with maybe activating some more PCPs around in the districts, both in Northampton and Lehigh County. So they're picking up steam on that, which is going to be very important as we go into the fall, to get as many precinct captains as we can. And now the committee, which we have renamed the Social Distancing Committee, Events Committee. Who's giving the report, Ginny or Sandy? Sergio, do you want to unmute? Looks like Ginny. You can't? Oh, there you go.
I think I'm on now. Hi, everybody. I just want you all to know we're still the amazing events team. Don't forget that. Right now, we're the AWS team, though, amazing while sequestered. So what we've been doing is, and Joan's been taking the lead on this, thank you, Joan, is what you talked about earlier, is that we're texting people. We're working in Tara Zrinski's precincts right now. We're texting people, and if we don't get a response from them, the text is about, did you know that you can vote by mail, and here's how to do it, and by the way, here are the people we would like you to vote for. So if we don't get a response from them, we're asking them, do you plan to vote by mail? Then we're sending them a postcard, or following up with a postcard. We have a fairly old group that we've been working with right now, so we're not getting many responses back from the text. So we're sending out an awful lot of postcards. Here's the postcards, by the way. They're really cool looking. And thanks to Kathy, who's been our runner to get us postcards and stamps, we've been running through a whole bunch of turfs. And I think we're almost done with Tara. Maybe Joan, if Joan wants to say something about that, if we're moving on to another turf, I don't know. I'm one of the worker bees. I'm not the manager on this.
I have almost all of it done. The Gallaghers, I haven't heard from them if they finished their turfs. All the rest of them are done.
Great.
So I will help them out. I'd like to have it done by the end of the week because it's getting close. So I'll contact them tomorrow, and if they're not done, I'll just take over what they've got to finish up.
Okay. Okay.
Can I just?
We have two hands up. Three. I think we have three. So four. Okay, wait. Everybody put your name in the chat if you have a question, and then we'll go in the order that people can type their names the fastest.
Can't do that.
I'm not seeing anything in the chat. I guess we'll.
It's not letting me send it, Dave. I don't know how.
The question came from Patty Bruno. Do we still need Kevin Bronco? Do you mean literature, or what do you mean by that? Sergio, do you want to unmute her real quick?
Unmute her. And tell him to unmute me too, Dave, so I can just answer.
You are unmuted. Everyone can hear you right
You're
now.
unmuted. I can hear you, Kathy.
You can hear my bitchy voice? Okay, good.
Listen,
So, Patty, what was your question?
We have the same bitchy voice. So
I know.
It's fine. Do you guys still need Branko's info? Like, do you guys want numbers, or are you guys going to do those yourselves?
No, we want you to tell us where you want us to focus.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of like what I was trying to get at with, like, what are we targeting? Who are we targeting? Right. Because I've sent out so many lists to so many different people that I really want to be able to, they're supposed to be, from what they told me, they're supposed to be updating multiple times a week. And by they, I mean the state party. So, right. With the ballots they're receiving back and all of that stuff, and I'm trying to keep up with pulling those lists and making sure that we're actually focusing on the people that already haven't voted.
Right. So we've been doing that. We've been updating the list. Like, for instance, Dale Sauerbeck is mailing out 400 altogether letters for Tara Zarinsky. And as he goes, we are giving him an updated list. So he's not mailing mail-in ballot information to people who have already requested it. Yeah.
All right.
And also,
Fabulous.
I just want to say, those postcards that you're sending out, yes, so those postcards just give the votespa.com and a QR code. And of course, the people that they're sending the postcards to are older, so a lot of them aren't going to do that. But I do have to tell you, I'm getting tons of phone calls from those postcards because our phone number is at the bottom, and they're saying, you know, I can't do this. How, you know, am I supposed to do it? And I'm like, I'll just mail you one. I've mailed out tons.
Oh,
And Johanna,
wow. So like an updated phone number actually matters.
yeah. So Johanna, yeah, so that's the only number they can find for Northampton County. But Johanna actually is helping me send those out, and we send out tons and tons of them, but based on people calling that number on the postcard. So it was it's still working. So if you don't think just because you're not getting a call back from the postcard that they're not working, because they really are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Those
good to know.
postcards are working.
Okay.
Perfect.
I said those postcards are working. This is Sandy.
Oh, Sandy, you have a question?
Yeah. Yeah, those postcards are working better than the phone calls. I'm gonna let you know now. I sent out almost 300 postcards.
Good.
And I have gotten response back. I registered up to, I think, like 40 new registers. So they're getting them back. The postcards work.
The postcards work, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Dale, had you raised your hand for a question?
I have a comment. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I got some lists from Tara's campaign office to mail out the applications for a mail-in vote. Now, what I'm doing, which is a little more work, is I'm putting 2 applications in every envelope because the list they gave me only shows 1 person in the house, and that's on almost 100 addresses.
Yeah.
That can't be, because I've done some from the vote builder,
Right.
and they've had husband and wife, and this is only showing 1 person.
Who sent? Dale, this is Patty. Who sent those to you?
Brenda.
You know the name?
Brenda.
Okay.
Brenda from Tara's
campaign. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I meant.
No, I'm trying to keep track, because I've obviously been trying to monitor what's going on in Norco.
Okay.
Obviously, Amy Cozy is now the registrar there, so for the elections office. So, you know, we've been in close contact with the number of requests that have gone out, and that kind of thing. And I just want to make sure that something like that, you're exactly right. Something like that isn't missed.
Yeah, well, what I'm doing automatically, and I probably don't need to do it, is I'm putting two applications in every envelope, because I don't know who's got 2 and who's got 1. So, but I feel it's very important that we take people by the hand, and I don't want to depend on sending them one that they might want a copy. I want to make sure they have the form.
Yeah. So just to kind of answer Patty's question, we're trying to send letters or something written to the 60 and older crowd. And the letters include actually at least 1 application in there, and it says you can copy it if you want more. The postcards are going to like the maybe the you know, the 60 down to 40 to 30, and then we're doing text messages actually to the 30 and under. So they can just click it right on their phone and then just go for it, signing up online over on their phone. So we're trying to kind of target the multimedia to match, you know, what age bracket might be using it. But, you know, it's hit and miss for a certain extent. That's just a generalization.
Okay, thank you guys. I'm not sure who would be best to direct this question to, but Ronnie Arena wants to know if Vote Builder training will cover texting as a method of contact.
They agree that texting is a good method of contact, and actually the lady who was doing the Vote Builder training, Roxanne, is the one that sent me the original text message to use. So I would say yes. If you talk to her about it in the training, they'll probably talk about it too if you take an official training. But yeah, it's recommended by the trainers for Vote Builder.
Okay. Ed, did I see you waving your hand, or were you just checking the screen? Ed Phillips? No? Okay. Is there anyone else? I thought I saw someone else with a question. Does anyone else have a question?
I have a question. This is Sandy again. Okay, are we going to set up the polls still with the machines and everything?
Well, I was going to explain that when we get to the volunteer
Okay.
coordinations.
Yeah.
So I'll, explain that a little
Okay.
further. Yeah.
All right.
Perfect. Does anyone else have any questions? Oh, yeah, go ahead. I think it's under, the video's under Michael's name.
Tony.
Tony.
Well, I'm telling Sergio for unmuting purposes.
Oh, gotcha.
Who do you want again?
It's Michael Aaron. His wife's waving at us right now. But he's using his name underneath there.
Well,
Can they unmute themselves, Sergio, or?
her question is, do we have to have a primary if Biden is the nominee?
Oh, wait, no, that's from Tony. So
Oh,
that's
that's
a
from
different
Tony.
question. Yeah.
Oh, who are we talking about?
Do we have to have a
Can you hear
primary?
us now?
Go ahead, and then we'll answer Tony's question.
Okay, we tried to get a ballot to be mailed to us for voting. We didn't want to be out there now with this virus stuff going on.
Good point.
And when I went to the site, it was just total blank. It didn't, the thing turned, but then it was just total blank. So it didn't have anything to put name information or anything. So I'm wondering if Dale could send us two ballot for the
Yeah,
voting.
or I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Kathy.
All right, thank you. That was my
Yeah.
only question.
If you want to text me offline on my other phone, you can text me your address and I'll get them out tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and that goes for anybody. If anybody needs, a mail-in ballot still, let us know and we can get you connected.
Everybody should be voting by mail this time. Donald Trump hates it. That's why we should do it.
Hey, I'm sorry to jump in, but are you saying you're mailing the ballots out or are you mailing the application?
No.
Sorry. I'm mailing the application and then
All
they
right.
fill it out and then the
Ballots-
official ballot.
Yeah,
Right.
the ballots have to come from the county's election.
County, right, the county. And I just wanted to offer that I put in my request for my ballot in March and I just got it last week.
Yeah, they
That's
weren't
like
sending them
mine.
right away. They were sending them out at the appropriate time. And since the primary got pushed back by over a month, right?
Right.
So
Right.
they pushed back the time that they were going to send out the ballots too, but they sent them out at the time that they were supposed to.
I
Yeah,
didn't
got
notice
mine.
when I looked if there was a deadline for submitting an application for mail-in ballot
The 26th
of May.
of May. You have to have your application in by the 26th, and then by 7 o'clock, really on the night of the election, is when the ballot, your actual ballot they filled out, has to be in there.
In their hands. Okay, thank
Yes.
you so much.
Sure.
Okay.
And so I guess I can answer Tony's question. Yeah, there's still a primary. Actually, there's still some candidates whose names are appearing on our ballots, even if they've suspended their campaign for president. They can still pick up delegates so that we go into the convention. There's sort of give and take when it comes to building the official platform of the party after the convention. So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is that there's, tons of other candidates that are running. So we have an auditor's general race, which we just endorsed in, and we have, state representatives that are in primaries. So yeah, it's still very important for everybody to go out and vote. I know president is the big one, but there's tons of other folks that we got to support, including Christina Hartman, who we, like I said before, just endorsed for the auditor's general. So it's still very important to get out of it. And obviously, we want to make sure that we're getting as much name recognition out there as we can for these folks, even if they're not being contested in the primary. just because they are going to have opponents in the fall. So, for instance, Susan isn't running against anyone in the Democratic primary, but she's going to have a race in the fall, and we want to make sure we get as much name recognition out there as we can.
Oh, can I say something else?
Sure.
Am I allowed to talk? I just also wanted to say that anybody that we get registered to vote by mail in the primary will automatically be registered to vote by mail in the fall. And that's that many less people that we have to get registered to get a mail-in ballot in the fall. So it only helps us to get as many people as possible right now.
We have another question. Michael, yeah. Did you want to, can he unmute him?
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
Can we get an email of the club's endorsed people?
I think we did send out that email, didn't we, Sergio?
We sent an email out about everybody who was supported. We sent an email out a while back that we supported and endorsed. We're also putting skills out for them on Facebook.
Okay. We have another person, Patty said she didn't get the email about it. So what we might do is
we've got to check on this MailChimp because
the
he sent it out by
MailChimp
MailChimp.
isn't working.
All right, hold on a second. I got news for you. I just checked Ginny's email. She is subscribed. Her email is absolutely correct. So I don't know why people are not getting the email. The only thing I can suggest is, check your spam filter.
Well, the other thing, Sergio, could we maybe get like one graphic that we can post on Facebook and Instagram that just shows the list of the names of folks we've endorsed? I know we have those awesome graphics that you've made, for the individual candidates.
You just want a list of names? Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, so we might do that then, and maybe get that out, next week or something like that. So it's kind of.
It's pretty much everybody we had on the voting. So, it wasn't like anybody. Well, except for the.
Yeah, but it's still. I think it is good to remind people these are the candidates. So if they see the name on that email list and they see it on their ballot, they'll know. Oh yeah, and Jamie just reminded us that there is someone running as a Democrat in the 134th district, which I think was the one where, who's in that one now? Is it McKenzie? The McKenzie's district?
Yeah, Ryan McKenzie.
Ryan McKenzie district. So we hadn't found someone to run against him for a while, but now we have someone named Mark Bassett who's going to be running. So that's a district that is approaching blue flippable. So it's one that we might, we're probably going to be doing some more work in the fall. So just remember.
And we also have a person now running in the 137th against Joe Emmerich, and her name is Caitlin Brennan, Brennan, and they're mounting a write-in camp. No, she's on the ballot. The Bassist is the write-in camp.
Yeah, she's on the ballot.
Yeah. So
from what I can tell, Joe Emmerich actually has a different PAC called Defending the Taxpayers. It's highly suspicious because it has his same treasurer and his phone number. So just be out on the lookout for that one.
And so, and what way does she spell Caitlin?
Kateelind.
Lind.
Yeah.
Caitlin Brenner?
Yeah.
Brenner.
Brennan.
Brennan. Brennan. Okay, Caitlin Brennan. Okay, in the 137.
37. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna put that in the. Okay, that's already been put in there before I could even do it. Perfect. So if you live in those districts, I know the 137th, that's up near like Nazareth, I think, and the 100.
It's Upper Mount Bethel, Forks Township, I think. Forks.
And then.
Easton.
And then the 134th, I believe, is out in the McCongies area. So if you live out there, take a look out for
Lower McCungie, Albertus, like that.
And it's in part of
Salisbury.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Okay, perfect. So I know we sort of usurped the events committee report with the volunteer coordination committee report, and sort of also leaked into the old business, which is that the primary is on June 2nd, which we're going to have the volunteer coordination committee explain what we're doing for that anyway. So I guess, you know, if you just want to delineate it more and just explain to folks what we're doing, if you want to go ahead and take that away.
Talking to me?
Yes.
You're talking to volunteer coordination? You talking to me? You talking to me? Okay. So first of all, we're going to be, for the elections, normally we have somebody at every single polling location handing out literature and encouraging people to vote for their candidates, but nobody wants more people mulling around the polling locations, and nobody wants to take anything that you're handing them because of germs. So we're deciding to scrap that whole idea in the primary, and we have a totally different plan that involves 3 teams, and I need volunteers for all 3 of the teams. The first team we're going to call runners, and they're going to get poll watcher certificates, and they're going to go from poll to polling location and just get us numbers, constantly updating numbers, and they'll each have 10 or 15 locations to get to 3 times during the day. And then the next group of people are going to be callers and texters. And so what we're going to do is we are going to have a list of every single precinct and how many voters are registered there and how many Democrats are among those voters. And then as the numbers come in and we see that some place has a low turnout, we will send, everybody can do this texting and phoning from home, by the way. We will send a message, an email to them saying, here's the list of people that should be Democrats voting at this precinct. None of these people have voted by mail, so start mailing or texting them right now and reminding them that they need to go out and vote today. And then the third group of people are going to be drivers, and they're going to 2 things. They can take people to the polls all day long. People need that. And the other thing is, if you still have your mail-in ballot at home and you filled it all out but you never sent it in, they cannot take it to a polling location. It has to be turned into the office. So we will help them get that to the voter registration office in time that day if they need help with that. So that's basically what our teams are going to be. Hopefully it's going to be very responsive. That is, as we see numbers lacking in one area, we're just going to immediately start flooding calls to that area to get more people out to vote there. So that's our plan. If you guys have suggestions or enhancements, I would love to hear them, because you know, I maybe didn't think of all the problems or whatever that might arise, or some other things we could do.
Hey, Kathy, the drivers are going to go out and pick up the ballots?
If that's what they want. If they say, you know, I still have my ballot here at home, and they told, you know, I know that I can't turn it in. I don't want to go to my polling location. I still don't want to go to my polling location. We'll come by and get it. Now, I know Matt's on the line, so maybe he can say, will one person be allowed to just collect them and drop them off there, or do we have to bring them in person to do it? If Matt wants to type in an answer or whatever.
Go ahead, Matt Muncy.
The current law is that if a person brings their ballot, it has to be the voter themselves. So
Okay.
if they bring their ballot back, it has to be the voter themselves.
Okay, so we might have to bring them actually over to the polling location, to the voter registration office, if that's what is happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what it's a big scare tactic the Republicans have. They call it, when somebody else drops it off, like ballot harvesting or something obscure like that, but it's just a tactic.
But I know that in Lehigh County, there's like a mailbox that out in front that you can just shove it in. So they won't even know who dropped it off in Lehigh County. But if Northampton County is going to be sticklers about it, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. We'll just take the person over
But
there.
I wouldn't want to get I don't think we should get the drivers in trouble either. I think, you know, if you're going to run someone to the poll, or if you're going to run someone that has the mail-in ballot just to the office there.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The driver will just drive them over there if they need a ride, and then they can drop it off themselves in person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Did you have anything else to say about what we're doing for the primary, or get out the vote, or anything?
Nope. I just I need as many people to volunteer for all that stuff as possible, because I probably need 10 or 15 people in each county to be collecting the numbers. And I probably need 20 or 30 or more people in each county making the calls and texts to push people to the polls if that haven't gone yet, or find out why they. Now, the thing is, the week before, we're going to have a list of everybody who has gotten a mail-in ballot but hasn't turned it back in yet. And that's another round of phone calls we need to do. That'll be our get out the vote kind of, instead of going door to door. We're going to be calling people who got a mail-in ballot but didn't send it back yet and getting them to send in their mail-in ballot. So that's part of a get out the vote effort that we'll probably do.
Kathy, I'm sorry to interrupt again, but in that
Yes.
period of knowing who had a mail-in ballot, who didn't turn it in, wouldn't that also be an opportunity to go pick them up and drop it? Because you can drop them at the county office, right? You don't have to drop them.
Right, but if we're calling them a week ahead of time to say, hey, you still didn't mail in your ballot, they still have time to get it in the mail. It doesn't have to be to the office until the day of elections.
All right, well, you guys are more trusting than I am about the U.S. mail, I guess. But yeah, just thought there might be another opportunity there to pick them up.
Well, yeah, if they really want to go take it in person and they don't have a way to get there, I'm sure we can offer that service, definitely.
All right,
yeah.
Okay.
And I know that Jenny Vote in the chat said to make sure that there's Democratic signs at all the polling locations. Volunteer Coordination Committee wants to maybe give the Dem signs to the poll watchers, the runner team, so that when they're going out to check numbers, they can get them out there too.
That's a good idea, but I don't know who has signs. I haven't seen any signs for Kevin. Patty, does Kevin have signs?
Honestly, we have ordered them. I don't have them yet.
Are they going to be here by primary?
I do have, I mean, you guys didn't endorse him, but I have Lamb signs. I have access to some Biden signs that I can definitely drop off at, a central location, and maybe even the Steelworkers Hall. I can just drop them off, and you guys can have access to them.
Okay.
There's other people that I can probably get some for if I already know that I'm heading over that way.
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, we're still waiting on his, Branko's order.
Yeah. So I haven't seen, I've seen that Tara has signs. I haven't seen Jason. Does Jason have signs? Does Kevin Lehart have signs?
I think Jason and Tara are using old signs.
Okay.
Branko never ran before. So we're kind of a little bit behind when it comes to that aspect. We're ahead in the endorsements.
Yeah. So I'm just telling Jenny that I'm not sure that we even have enough signs to put at polling locations. I don't think in the primary people have done that.
I genuinely don't know, and I honestly don't know how effective that's really going to be on June 2nd. I mean, if you really think about it, we're already at May 5th, and
well, and on top of that, if you're going there,
a lot of people that are still scared.
Yeah, but also on top of that, if you're a Democrat, you'll vote for the Democrat. You can't even vote for any Republicans if you wanted to, and vice versa. So it doesn't. Their name doesn't have to be in front of them at that time, except for name recognition.
Well, I mean, no, because this year you have to vote for the candidate. You can't do straight ticket. So
right, but won't they be just handed? We're just getting
it will for this instance. But I do think if people have signs that they want to put out, I think that's okay. I mean, it reinforces the name. You see the name on the sign, you go there, you vote the name. And then in the fall, you remember, oh, I voted that name in the primary. That must mean that's the Democrat.
Yeah.
No, and I totally agree with that. I also think that, a lot of, the major races that we can flip in this area deal with Republicans. And we have to be able to walk that line. We have to. So we definitely have to. That's why, I was asking about targeting and, those kinds of things, because, Jason's going to have a rough run again, even though, he does have name recognition. Kevin is running across 3 districts. 3 counties.
Right.
That's rough in itself, let alone talking about, demographics and stuff like that. And Tara, she's running in a, pretty purpley area. And I'd like to think that, especially with Terry and Abe, that, you know, we actually did a number on Norco. You know, we flipped a lot of those people and really reached out to them and targeted them. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, all of them. And, you know, we were able to, you know, get some good numbers. And I genuinely, you know, gut instinct, I honestly think that, you know, that's something that we're going to have to do this cycle. I mean, one of the union guys actually just sent me a video from the Lincoln Project, and I'll send it to you. But I mean, they're straight up Republicans, and they absolutely hate Donald Trump. And I was like, oh shit, something we have in common. So I think that that's probably something that we're going to have to really look at in terms of targeting in the general election. A lot of our people don't have a primary. But it doesn't, you know, one of the first things I said to Kevin when I met him, and Kathy was there for that, and you know,
I was there.
And I literally told him, stop telling people that you don't have a primary.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, just sometimes those things, I don't know, they matter.
Yeah.
So everything that you guys are doing is absolutely fantastic, and that's one of the reasons why, like, I even make time to join in and annoy you guys. And I really do appreciate it. Anything you
Well,
guys
we'll
do?
be looking. We'll be looking for volunteers for these three teams that we're making, and a lot of them can come from, you know, your volunteer base for Kevin Bronco, for instance, and they can be the runners that collect the numbers, or they can make the phone calls and text too. They can join into what we're doing and help us make sure that we get every.
And I genuinely am sure that they will. So you guys give me a list of, you know, basically like what you need.
Perfect.
And we can coordinate that. And Matt, you know, you and I can link up and talk about that kind of stuff, and make sure that, you know, the Valley is carried.
Yes, definitely.
I genuinely believe that if we lose the Valley this time around, we will lose.
Yes,
and
I
that
agree.
actually frightens me.
And
It's up to us. Yeah, it really, and it's up to us.
right.
This group
That's
right
why
here,
it's
this
so
group of
important.
people, these dedicated people are the ones that are going to make it happen. Everybody on this call and everybody in our group is going to make it happen. So.
And perfect. I think in the interest of time, I just want to see if I know we have. Oh yeah, by the way, Sergio, we were trying to see the Susan Wild graphic real quick.
And also, Rich Wilkinson is trying to get on, so he wants to talk to us about the Biden campaign. So, can you let him in?
Yay! There she is.
There she is! Yay!
Okay, yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. So I think in the interest of time, you know, if you have more questions, you can connect with the volunteer coordination folks, and you know, we'll get those groups going and everything like that. And so, is Rich Wilkins on right now? I think that's our.
I didn't
thing.
see him. I was trying to get everyone recorded that's on, but I didn't see him.
Sergio, is he maybe in the waiting room?
Nope.
I
Oh,
was gonna say, is he in the waiting room?
Just showed up.
Perfect. So this is our guest speaker, Rich Wilkins. He's with the Joe Biden campaign. I guess he's in San Francisco right now.
What?
He's just gonna run us through what's going on that end. All right, Rich, go ahead.
I wish I was in California. Frankly, I've been home for 50 days, 51 days now, really, pretty much, with, you know, with a few trips to the supermarket mixed in. Thank you all for joining. I just actually finished a call with some young people from the Lehigh Valley, a bunch of Lehigh students. There were some people actually who were older too. We had a mixed crowd age-wise. Had a little technical glitch at the end because we actually are having a meeting in Delaware County as well right now, and my Zoom account is running both, so Zoom wanted me to close the one and start the other. It was kind of fun. Technology's fun, guys. So the campaign, obviously we're in an unprecedented moment for presidential campaigning. We don't have the regular canvassing that we'd be doing right now heading into a primary. The in-person phone banks are not, they're just not a possibility. We are learning as we go. So what we've had so far in the Lehigh Valley, we've had 2 virtual events. They've been actually some of the better attended events of anywhere in Pennsylvania and the country. I think that's a tribute to the fact that people here were awakened by 2016. I think that there is a longing to get Donald Trump out of office, to get a government that frankly works for the people again and moves us forward. And so a couple things that I just want to share with you about where we're at as a campaign. First, the deal with the DNC and Joe Biden to move forward in terms of a campaign, an organizing campaign, is close to completed. So very soon, the Biden campaign's organizing operation and the Back to Blue field organization of the state party will begin coordinating data, coordinating canvases, coordinating phone banks, working hand in hand so that we're not just working for Joe Biden and then separately going to Susan Wild and then separately going to Tara Zarinsky. We'll be able to coordinate all of our efforts in every area and to help the entire ticket. Susan actually has been doing some stuff with us. She just did a roundtable a few days ago. Her manager just joined our youth call tonight and gave a pitch to them. And Susan was on our first kickoff event for the Lehigh Valley. So we're going to be working extremely closely with her. In terms of Pennsylvania specific efforts, we have just begun on the joebiden.com Action Center. So if you go to joebiden.com, at the top, there's a place that says Action Center. It'll take you to all the volunteer options. There's one that is called Make Calls for Joe. You click on that and a bunch of states come up as possibilities. Obviously, Pennsylvania, as a fairly important swing state in the election, is live on there. We have 43,000 people who have either signed up to get emails, signed up to volunteer, or have made a small donation of a campaign. We're calling through them right now, and we are asking them, basically, first off, how are you? Are you doing okay in the COVID situation? And second off, do you want to get involved in a campaign? Do you want to join us at a virtual event? Do you want to make calls? Do you want to, whatever you want to do. We have people doing postcard campaigns. We're working with you right now to be creative. If you want to get involved in any of that, my email is rwilkins, rwilkins at joebiden.com. Again, these are extremely easy calls. These are the people that we at least have good reason to believe are a donor or a supporter. So if somebody's a $5 donor, I doubt they're a Donald Trump supporter. So these are easy calls, and we're just trying to get people involved, get people engaged, move the party forward. We have great events every day online with Bernie Sanders, with Barack Obama, with Hillary Clinton, whoever you like. We've probably done one with them in the last month, and we'll probably do a lot more. In terms of just locally, I expect we'll have an office in Lehigh County and Northampton County. When that will be is up in the air because we don't know when we'll be allowed out of the house to campaign again. But we are going to have plenty of opportunities locally, and we're going to spare no resource in flipping Northampton County back to blue, building in Lehigh County, and beating Donald Trump in Pennsylvania. So thank you so much for that.
Rich, what was that email you had one last time? So I can get this.
Yes. rwilkins at joebiden.com. And no question is a dumb question. Anything anybody wants to know?
Yeah, let's open it up to questions. Is that all right, Rich? I know you have other calls. Is that all right?
I can do one or two. Yeah.
Perfect. Tony, is that a question from, is that what the thumbs up means? Does he have a question? All right, go for it.
I just feel like
there is a need for Biden to be more on TV right now. I mean, we need leadership in this country, and we're all starving for it. So why hasn't he been putting out ads?
So ads, so there's sort of two parts to that. The being visible part is very difficult. Joe Biden right now is not the governor. He's not the president. So we are competing for airtime on that front with Andrew Cuomo, with Tom Wolf, with Donald Trump. On that end, what we are trying to do, I send out 4 or 5 days a week an email to people across the entire Mid-Atlantic United States, where I share clips of Joe Biden. I share where he's going to be on TV or online. And we ask basically people just to share that to their social media. So that's the first part of it. The ads part, to be very honest with you, presidential elections the last 12 years have cost over $1 billion. And one of the problems with television is it's an expensive medium to go on. So we will be on TV and we will be active in this state, but I think that there are people in the budget side of the campaign that are kind of telling us when it's safe to start spending that money in that way. And I'm sure that they will spend more money than we all wish was in politics at that point.
Perfect.
I can do one more.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Michael.
I would suggest that since Trump is going on this cut Social Security kick, that gets stressed strongly, so people know that that's what he's doing.
I agree. So this is one of the most pressing issues in all of politics. Is Social Security always polls at the top. Part of it is that senior voters vote. We're going to press this issue. Particularly, you're going to see this in Pennsylvania a lot. I expect you'll see it in ads. I expect you'll see it in your mailbox. I expect you'll see it in Facebook ads. So I agree with you. I think the campaign agrees with you.
If I can ask one question before I know you got to go.
Go ahead.
I read somewhere that there was what they called like an enthusiasm gap between Biden and other candidates. What are the top 3 policy points that we can use to get folks excited to vote for Biden in November?
Okay, so right now there's a number. And frankly, I probably could go on and on beyond 3. The Supreme Court, number 1. Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Stephen Breyer are not young judges. And obviously, if we lose those seats, we are going to be in a deep hole. So I think that's a huge motivator. Number 2, the economy. We're doing a recovery, we're going to have to do a recovery act probably again next year. And it's going to be very similar to where we were at in 2009. Because I think at that point, we were looking at 1 million jobs a month gone. Right now, we've lost 30 million jobs in 6 weeks. So I think that's number 2. And number 3, that I at least am finding a lot of people are interested in is healthcare. And you're going to see a lot of expansion. You can see a lot of expansion of healthcare, of our policy. Right now, a lot of the focus has been on the public option part and how we're going to roll that out. I think as you've seen through the primaries so far, and you're going to see this more, some of our opponents who were perhaps more progressive have had an influence on Joe Biden. Elizabeth Warren and him just penned an op-ed together. Bernie Sanders and him did a virtual event together where they were talking about ways to get the economy going. I think there are some people who maybe are nervous or perhaps a little tenuous right now about Joe Biden being a progressive. I think you're going to see a very full throttle effort to address that in the coming months.
Perfect. And before we let you go, Ginny wants to know, we all want to know, who's going to be the VP, pick. You got to tell us that inside scoop. Let's know.
It's funny. I worked for Chris Dodd years ago, and he's on the board that's looking at potential people. And so I've been getting a lot of people asking me this, and I have to be very, very honest with you. They aren't letting me know anything about that selection right now. They'll still say hello to me, and you know, Chris still responds by emails. But if I ask him that, I think he might stop. So,
All right.
all right. Thank you so much.
All right. Yeah, thanks so much, Rich. And
All right.
again, if anyone has questions for him or wants to get involved, we have the email in the chat, rwilkins@joebiden.com. Perfect. Thanks so much.
Thank you. All right.
Bye. All right. Oh, that's a good suggestion. Yeah. Okay, and so then going further down the list, June 9th is going to be when we're going to have a meeting. It's supposed to be the first Tuesday of the month, but the first Tuesday of next month is going to be the primary, so we're not going to hold it that day. We're going to move it a week back to the 9th, and we're going to try to do like a drive-in movie style. So everyone will just show up to the Union Hall, but we're going to stay in our cars so we don't, you know, we can be social distanced. Obviously, if there's still a stay-at-home order extended during that time, we won't be able to. We might just have another Zoom call. But if if we get into the yellow zone or anything like that, then we're going to try to do, you know, the drive-in style social distance, but still wave to your friends. And, you know, I'll probably stand up there in the front with a microphone out of the back of my car or something like that, just to say hi to everybody. Make sure you bring a mask if we do that. And if you need any or anything like that, let us know. We can try to provide some to you. But yeah, so look forward to that. You know, it's been a long couple months, but we're, you know, the curve has flattened. I look at the numbers every day. I listen to the briefings that come out, and as long as we continue to keep up, you know, the social distancing and, you know, trying to avoid large crowds and everything, washing our hands and whatnot, I think we're going to come out of this, you know, and we're going to go into the fall, you know, with a renewed need to get Trump out of office. So, you know, our call to action tonight is going to be just to sign up to do GOTV phone calls, texts, and postcards. Contact Kathy if you want to do that. A couple important dates to remember. May 26th is the last day to register to vote by mail. So May 20th, Sergio, if you want to, do you want to get, I guess I can copy it in there too. These are the list of important dates that we have so far. And then the other thing is that, assuming it still goes forward, we're going to be getting a booth at Pride in the Park in August, mid to late August. I think it's August 16th.
16th.
August 16th. So that'll probably be the first time, you know, assuming it happens, that'll be the first time that we have any sort of like public gathering, I think. So I think what I want to do now, since we, you know, got through most of our agenda is pretty sparse tonight, is I know people haven't had a chance to talk to anybody, or I just wanted to open it up. If you want to just put your name in the chat, maybe I can, if you have some announcement you want to make, or if you just have a question about anything. We have a representative from Susan's office here. I know we have other folks in case you have any questions or anything like that. Maybe we can answer them. So I wanted to open it up to anybody if you just want to like raise your hand or do the thumbs up or what have you, and give you like 30 or 40 seconds. Oh, Dale, I saw Dale first. Go ahead. Unmute. You got to unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just want to back up a minute on something. People fill out their ballots, and if they haven't got them in, we can't take them, and we have to take the person, or the person has to go there. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what Matt said. For Northampton County. For Lehigh County, they told me that
No,
there's
it's the same. It's the same across both. Yeah.
Oh, it is for, okay, that's what I wanted.
Okay.
Well, what's that box in Lehigh County that someone said you had?
Well, it's a mailbox. There's a mailbox there. You can shove things through the slot. So I don't know how they would know that it wasn't the real person, but Dave says that that's illegal. So, okay.
Yeah, that's why,
Yeah. No, we don't want to do anything illegal, so.
Yeah.
As your lawyer, I have to, yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And then the next person I see is Ben Felser. Ben, did you have your friend?
Yeah. A friend of mine who works at the Sayer Mansion has been very upset that they've been forcing him to go to work, or otherwise he can't get unemployment benefits. And the Sayer Mansion apparently has been hosting people who are staying there for leisure, not just for COVID purposes. And his explanation, this seems to be against the governor's recommendation. And he's been, he contacted Jeannie McNeil's office, he contacted Susan Wild's office, and he feels like he's been getting the runaround. So I just wanted to bring it up. Where does someone like that go to actually get heard? And maybe just that our Democratic representatives can't do anything about that issue. They don't have the power. But it'd just be nice if he is a good Democrat. He isn't wasting his time with Toomey's office. He did contact Casey's office, but he'd like to get a decent answer on that, I guess.
Yeah, and I think actually Megan had her hand up to try to answer that for you.
Hi, Ben. So anybody who has a concern about a business that's operating outside of the governor's stay-at-home law should just call the state police and file a report, and they'll investigate. It may be that a business has applied for a waiver and received it, and they just don't know. I don't know about the case of that particular business, but that's the protocol that the governor's office recommended.
Okay.
Thanks, Megan.
Thank you. Ben, did that answer the question you had?
Ben, are you still there?
Yes. And Megan, are you a representative from Susan's, or what's your position?
Yeah, she's from Susan's office.
Okay.
I guess.
Kind of.
All right, you're taking credit for it.
But Ben and I are also PCPs in the Bethlehem committee too.
There you go.
Oh, good. Okay. So Ben and Megan, have you guys both contacted all your voters to make sure they're signed up to vote by mail?
No. So what should I be doing? Sending those postcards out?
Well, or a text. Postcards and text would be fine. So I'll get with you offline, and I'll. You need to get an updated list that's got all the people off of it that have already applied, and then you can check. I'll send you a text, and you can just text.
I'm not quite sure why the city Dems have just canceled all their meetings instead of held something offline.
I agree.
Out of it because of that. So
yeah. Yeah. So we're trying to get as many PCPs as possible going on getting everybody signed up to vote by mail.
Okay.
Yeah, my co-PCP and I, Kathy, downloaded that list from
awesome.
Vote Builder with the filter that's in there for folks who have already applied for the ballot or voted.
Yay.
I'm wearing both of my hats.
Good. And then you contacted the rest of them to make sure that they know to do it.
Yeah, we're working on that.
Awesome.
I've got a good.
You get a gold star and a smiley face.
We've got a lot of good Democrats in this precinct, so they're keeping us busy. I wanted to, Dave, if I may, just putting on my official hat again. I wanted to make myself available for any questions regarding the economic impact payment. Our office has been fielding a lot of questions about the IRS, Treasury, Social Security. So if anybody has any questions about that, you can ask me tonight, or I'll put my official email address in the chat, and you can contact me offline if you have any questions about the stimulus.
Have you heard of anybody, I have a question. Have you heard of anybody filing suit against the inability for people who are married to an undocumented immigrant from being able to get any movement on that? Because that's a big one. Okay. Well, I'll be, if you need me to stand up and say something, you let me know. I got some clients that's affecting. Perfect. And then I saw Tony had her hand up.
Yes, I have a question for you, Dave. I've been working with my seniors in my building, and I have quite a few of them that have respiratory problems, heart problems, and I've been trying to find donations for masks. I did get the sanitizers, but I've been reaching out to the community to see if I can get some masks donated to these seniors. Is there a way that I can go around and probably get some donations of masks?
Does anybody know of a place?
Anybody know of a place that's donating masks?
Yeah. Because I reached out to Pete Schweizer. He gave me a couple. But I have a couple of other seniors that are really bad off in here, and they can't afford like getting the masks, and they don't have families. So I've been trying to get some donations, you know.
Well, let me check with my neighbor because he gave us a package of masks because he works at a construction office and they had a bunch of extras. So let me see if I can find you some. Okay, Sandy?
Okay, Kathy, I really appreciate that because them hand sanitizers went over great.
Yeah.
Do you know
So
how
I'm gonna order some more.
Do you know how many masks you need?
Yeah.
How many?
Huh?
How many
How many
masks?
masks
you
do you
I
need?
would say about 50. If I can get 15, that would be great. That would be great.
You could check with
Because I had
mask force too.
That's
Yeah. So the chat has a lot of suggestions. So Sandy,
Just
Lehigh
read all the
Valley,
text from the chat.
yeah, Lehigh Valley Masks on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
There's,
Okay.
there's sanitizers at CBD Shaman and FAB Lab Masks.
Okay.
And then Jenny Vogt let us know that she's working with Operation Address the Homeless in Allentown, getting masks.
Okay.
And she left her email in there so she can loop you into their efforts.
Okay.
You have access to the chat, or do you want us to get the email to you offline?
Yeah, get the email to me and I can reach out to these people.
Perfect.
Yeah, because my board, the housing board gave us some, but they didn't have enough because, you know, they have staff and whatever. So
Okay.
we tried that way. So
Okay.
I'm working on it.
Good. Well, we're glad they're lucky to have you in the building working on it. That's great.
Oh yeah.
Really cool. Yeah. So we'll get you connect. We'll try to get you connected with those folks then. And thank you for everyone that gave their suggestions.
Thank you.
And then Tony Fernandez, did you have your hand raised about something? You gotta unmute.
Oh, okay. It's for Ben. Ben, if that company or business has received a PP loan, then they could certainly pay for that person to stay home. And that would be a solution. But he would need to know if they received the PP loan.
Yeah, I think they're trying to find ways not to have to do that, was my impression.
Yeah.
Keep the money, keep as much money as they can.
Well, they can't. They have to spend that money, otherwise they have to pay it back.
Yeah. The loan is to keep them employed and home.
So they could pay them but stay at home.
Right.
Yes, we had one of the businesses, one of the restaurants had a gal, she's 4 months pregnant. She doesn't want to go back, and they have been paying her because they received a PP loan. They've been paying her a salary for up to 8 weeks.
Okay.
And I know he's been waiting for a long time. Omar, you had a question.
Yes. In the near future, is Congresswoman Wild holding a Zoom event?
A Zoom event?
Yes.
She held one a little bit ago, but I think she is. Megan, do you know?
Megan?
There's a Zoom event on racial equity on Thursday night. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm not sure actually. I saw something on Facebook. I'm sort of perused it. I just went by it. I figured I'd get an email at some point, but but a lot of my emails are ending up in the junk folder. So I'm just.
Megan, maybe you can, or here's Omar, why don't you put your email address in the chat and then Megan can send you the thing that she knows about and then you could figure it out from there.
Or yeah, and Sergio has it up on the screen now too.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, let me go back to okay, I can't really tell. Sergio is screen sharing right now. So I can't see if anyone else had anything. Oh, Cheryl, Cheryl Baker, did you want to make the announcement? Or did you just want me to read it? I can read it as well.
No, I was checking with Megan because I got a text today from Taylor about Representative Wild doing a virtual chat tomorrow. Megan, that's about paid leave at 5:30?
I don't know who Taylor is. I'm sorry.
Okay, he was with Moms Rising.
No, it's a campaign side. I'm on the other side.
Oh, gotcha. It's a Wild Town Hall. It says Moms Rising about paid leave tomorrow. I can copy and paste the link into the chat for everyone if you'd like it.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Okay, will do.
Thank you.
Sure.
Awesome.
And I guess I should probably let everybody know that I've been invited and will be next week participating in the Organizing Corps 2020. There is a week-long training for folks organizing with the DNC for the campaign, the election season, if you will. So that will start Monday the 11th and go straight through till Friday. And then I will know more about what I'm going to be doing once I've gone through that training, and I'll keep everyone informed.
So you're part of the DNC. You're going to be part of the DNC then?
Correct.
Awesome.
Okay. Is there anyone else that had anything that they wanted to say or scream into the abyss about? I know that's some. Well, I know I try to get you guys. Oh, yeah, Ronnie, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. The COVID testing. I'm like so annoyed with this, and I wondered the woman from Susan Wild's campaign. I've called the office and complained that I'm a caregiver for my 90-some-year-old mom and would like to get a test. I've talked to my doctor. I've called Toomey's office a number of times and complained about this. And Toomey's latest letter that came out about how we move forward, in no place does he say anything about testing and tracing, not at all. And I'm just wondering, are we sort of like giving up on that? Or like, I don't know how to proceed. And you know, it really is affecting my life in negative ways because I can't take care of my mother. I'm just wondering if anybody knows of any place where I could get help because I really don't know.
Does anyone know about the situation with the tests?
So I think I'm Megan. I don't work on the campaign. Sorry, I'm wearing a couple hats tonight, but I don't wear that at all. So I serve as a Congresswoman's district director, and I think we actually spoke on the phone the other day. You know, as far as testing goes, that you know, that's sort of out of the purvey of what the Congresswoman is able to influence. You know, she doesn't have any jurisdiction over that, but what some constituents that we've talked to have found is just, you know, working through your family physician to identify, you know, the best match in terms of testing facility for you or for your family member that you're concerned about.
They told me if you don't have any pre-existing conditions, there is no reason to test you. And I'm just upset that we are becoming very complacent in driving people nuts about this, that this is incredibly important. And what is happening now is our economy is being wrecked even more because of the extension of this. And I don't think things are going to get any better until we do proceed with the testing and the tracing. And I think it's now becoming an economy issue for me too. But in terms of caring for people around me, I just don't know what to do. I'm very, very frustrated because I haven't gotten any results from anyone. And yet other states seem to be getting them in unusual ways, but I just, you know.
Rona, I just got an email saying that on Friday, May 8th, Rachel Levine will be in a Zoom meeting answering questions about COVID, and you register through the Jewish Federation of the Lehigh Valley. And that's at noon on Friday the 8th. Special briefing, questions
Jewish
answered.
Federation.
I got it.
Jewish Federation.
Yeah.
Contact the Jewish Federation and you'll be able to find a way to register.
Okay, terrific. Thank you so much.
Anybody.
I appreciate that.
I started to say that.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
submit questions in advance. She'll be answering questions.
Okay.
And I mean, Matt is right. Matt Muncy in the chat said there's a national problem with this. I mean, it's, you know, one of the big things that I'd heard is that, you know, when the transition over from the Obama presidency over to the current one came in, they said, listen, there's like 3 things you have to watch out for. And it's, you know, so terrorism acts, hurricanes, and pandemics. And we just got rid of all that stuff. Yeah. And I recently saw that there's this idea, there's states are banding together in groups in order to try to get supplies in, to their states, which is a crazy concept. It's almost as if we took all the states, maybe like as a federation, like as a federal government, maybe we could work. I don't know. It's a weird concept, but no, I understand the frustration. And it's difficult too. I mean, as someone who, has someone in the medical profession, and his, my fiance is a nurse, the frustration that they have there just with getting supplies. And she told me that they use 1 face mask for their entire shift at this point because they're low on it. I mean, she has a 12-hour shift as a nurse in a hospital with COVID positive patients. And it's just it's a national disaster that, is frustrating to everyone.
And I think they're talking about getting rid of phasing out the COVID task force.
Yes,
because
they
we're
are
doing so spectacularly well.
Mhm.
We're essentially in a confederacy now.
Yeah, it's just so frustrating. And I'm not to the person in the chat asking about delivery of masks to the hospital. I don't even know if they are accepting masks. Clarice, my fiance, made a mask homemade that she has to leave in her car because the hospital won't let her bring it in. I'm not sure what that's about. But I'm not a medical professional. I don't pretend to be one. I certainly don't tell people to inject UV light into them. I appreciate everyone, doing this. I'm sort of getting, cabin fever.
Yeah.
I bet
We miss everybody so
Yeah.
much, and we really, really hope we can pull off this meeting on June the 9th, a drive-in movie kind of a thing, and maybe we'll have popcorn, and we'll have maybe a screen up front so you can see what we're doing, and everybody can watch live streaming on their phones from their car and everything. But it would be really nice to get together and see each other. It'll be right after the primary, so hopefully the things will go well and the weather will be nice. Hopefully we can do that.
And I know, Cheryl, you just unmuted yourself. Did you have something to say?
Yeah, to your point about the mask not being able to come into the hospital, I think there's this new trend where organizations don't want anything from the outside inside, because at the supermarkets now, they're not accepting recycling of plastic bags. That they're just telling you to figure something out. Maybe that, you just end up throwing it away.
Yeah, that's true too. Because it can stay on surfaces for a while. I didn't know that about the plastic bags. And did I see someone else had a question? I normally try to get you guys out of here by 8 o'clock. I know you guys all have a long trip home, so I don't want to.
Everyone's drinking already, Dave. Every time you say mask, we all take a shot.
Oh, geez. Yeah, Ed, it was great to see you too. And Eileen, hello. But yeah, so everyone, thank you all so much for virtually coming out to the Lehigh Valley for All meeting. I hope everyone's doing well. There's a lot of resources in the Zoom chat here. Oh yeah, everyone's saying Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Everyone's already starting to pull out the drinks. Come on, 2 minutes. Give me 2 more minutes. No, but I will let you all go. Thank you all so much. There's a lot of resources in our Zoom chat, so Facebook links, ways to sign up, emails, and everything. Sergio, are we going to be able to preserve that chat so that I can pull stuff off? I know I need to give Sandy something.
Yes, I will be sending, whoever wants it, I can send them the the recording of everything, and even just a chat if they want.
I'm gonna be on television. All right. So perfect. Everyone stay safe, stay sane, and
Happy Mother's Day.
yep.
Happy-
Have a good night,
Yep.
everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Yep.
Night. Thank you.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Is anyone